Jenkins High School was football crazy. The stands on our high school field were crowded, without an inch of space between two people. Chapter 15. Casey.
Jenkins High School was football crazy. The stands on our high school field were crowded, without an inch of space between two people.
I had also spotted a few unfamiliar faces in the crowd, which Matt had told me were students from Westview High School, our opponent tonight.
You're pretty. I like your skirt. Did you buy it with Addison and Sadvi?
Yeah.
Thanks. You are very beautiful, too.
After the game, we were going to gather at Ethan's house to party, so everyone was dressed for the occasion. My dad was apprehensive about letting me go to another party, but as soon as I pointed out that it was Ethan's, his complaints calmed down.
Even though things had worked in my favor, I didn't like that my parents were so impressed with him.
Dad didn't have to worry anyway. I wouldn't be drinking at the party tonight because I had offered myself as the designated driver for Addison and Sadvi.
Another reason I wanted to stay sober was to not let my guard down. I could go into the wolf's den, but that didn't mean I wanted to be eaten alive. The last time at Keith's was enough, when Ethan spat degrading words in my face.
I heard you convinced Ethan to have the party at his house.
No, it was Damien. I just agreed when Ethan offered to have the party at his house if I came.
Matt was busy chatting with a boy sitting next to him, and luckily there was too much noise around us for him to filter out my words, even if he heard.
It's even more interesting. You still think my theory was wrong?
My face flushed, and she leaned toward me, probably sensing my discomfort at having this discussion while Matt was right on the other side. Casey, Ethan may have a twisted way of showing it, but I think he likes you.
No. I was tired of hearing the same thing, and the worst part was that I had started to believe it, but I had to deny his words for the sake of my sanity.
He just played into Damien's hands and decided to throw the party because he relished my reluctance to go to his house. Ethan only likes to insult me and take advantage of my distress. And why do you think he likes to do this only to you? Because I'm fat, and he's one of those assholes who likes to pick on that. I've faced a lot of people like him, and the last thing I expect is for them to have a crush on the person they call pig, whale, or any other insult that comes out of their mouth. Casey, you're not fat. Luscious, of course, but not big. You're beautiful, and the assholes who say otherwise are stupid, including Ethan.
Who are the other people who insulted you? Were you bullied at your old high school?
Even though I knew Lola wouldn't judge me, it was still embarrassing to let her know that I had always been the victim. You can always find people who have something to say about your body. Her eyebrows furrowed further, expecting me to continue, but when I didn't, she sighed and nodded. She was very good at reading body language. These people shouldn't matter. I didn't tell you that Ethan liked you so that you could idealize him and jump into his arms.
I want you to confront him about this and put an end to this cat and mouse game you two have been playing.
The game of cat and mouse? Is this what we look like? I nodded, even though I had no intention of following his suggestion. I absolutely didn't have the strength to confront Ethan and accuse him of harassing me because he liked me. Besides, the most likely scenario would be that he laughs and that he has one more weapon against me. He would beat me up about why an overweight girl would never be worthy of him. He was sadistic like that. Before Lola could continue, loud cheers broke out around us. Players and cheerleaders from both high schools took the field. She squeezed my hand in my lap and smiled, letting me know that we would continue this conversation another time. Our team wore black, while the guests wore light blue jerseys. The cheerleading squad uniforms matched their respective teams. When the guest team cheerleaders took to the center of the field, I noticed that they had 3 boys, which was refreshing. I was used to only seeing girls as cheerleaders. Addison wants boys on our cheerleading squad. It's a bit sad that none of the boys want to join us. They still consider it a girl thing. Don't do that again. When the teams arrived, his attention turned to us to tell us which players were difficult among our opponents. What I understood was that their quarterback, Ryan, and their running back, Colin, were good. Lola and I looked at each other. She rolled her eyes, and I held back a chuckle. They want to protect their male egos. My gaze wandered over the players on their benches, searching for familiar faces. Damien had drilled it into my head that his jersey number was 9, so I could always look for him during the match. He also let it slip that Ethan's number was 13, and somehow, while looking for Damien, my eyes landed on Ethan. He was talking with one of his teammates. My twisted brain couldn't help but admire him in his football gear, which accentuated his toughness and dominance. It was unfair how handsome he was.
Before I knew it, Ethan was staring at me. I blushed, for the 1000th time that evening, to have been caught watching him.
Although we were seated near the field, it was unsettling how easily he spotted me among the hundreds of other people in the crowd. Familiar tingles spread through me as his gaze slid down my body. I was a little more confident today in my choice of clothing, but his fiery eyes were enough to make me feel like I was naked. Asshole. I was as red as a tomato when he looked up at my face. I would have looked away already, but his eyes had been staring into mine, until he was the first to break eye contact when the guy he was talking to tapped him on the shoulder. "He hates you, Casey," I chanted in my head, to stop the butterflies in my stomach, to stop myself from having feelings for him. Matt's laugh broke me out of my thoughts. I looked to the side and saw that he and Lola were leaning towards each other, whispering and giggling to each other. They were really cute, so much so that I was almost jealous. Despite their opposing personalities, they looked great together. They took care of each other, gave each other space, and communicated so well. Having known them for 3 weeks, it was hard to dismiss their relationship as just another high school fling. It was here to stay. I wanted to have a relationship like that too, with so much trust and love. But instead, I was sitting there ogling my tormentor and on the verge of developing Stockholm syndrome. I'm a wreck. I turned my head towards the field, not wanting to slip into the couple's privacy.
The speakers blared, and another round of cheers exploded from the audience.
The Westview cheerleaders, center, began their performance. Their performance was impressive. With all the flips and jumps they were doing, I was afraid of the injuries they might get if someone fell. The boys on their team helped them by adding more breathtaking stunts. At the end, everyone applauded, even though they were our opponents tonight.
Then it was our daughter's turn. An unconscious smile spread across my face when I saw Addison and Sadvi in the middle. They looked so pretty in their cheerleading outfits and high ponytails.
We screamed and clapped through their performance. I understood why Addison wanted boys on the team. Their act lacked the muscles to do somersaults and stunts. However, the little pyramid at the end was good. The cheers for them were louder because they were the home team. Then our principal, Miss Benson, took to the podium and wished the teams good luck. The coin was tossed, and Westview won the toss, getting the first attack. Players from both teams began to position themselves on the field. I deliberately avoided looking at Ethan and looked for Damien. I found him with a big 9 on his jersey. Everyone had their helmets on, so I couldn't see their faces. Damien will be a central defender. Ethan will be a tackle.
Lola nodded. I had no knowledge of football, so his words passed me by.
The central defender takes the call and organizes everyone to stop the attack. And the tackler tackles, as his name suggests. Oh! Ethan also plays cornerback sometimes, but Ryan usually doesn't throw far. I had no idea what he was talking about, but apparently Ethan was important. Well, I already knew that. The game started, and I struggled to keep up with all the passes, tackles, and runs. But Matt's comments gave me an idea of what was happening on the ground. When it came time for our team's offense, Damien threw the ball to Drake, our running back. Ethan played as a left tackle. His job was to protect the pitcher, which was Damien. Now I knew where he used his big, muscular body. We had our first touchdown before the end of the half. He was scored by Seth, who was playing wide receiver. The noise we made the second he reached the end zone was deafening.
Throughout the match, my attention was unconsciously focused on Ethan. His agility, speed, and strength were incredible. It was hard not to look at him. And when the buzzer sounded, announcing that our team had won, the big smile that split his sweaty face was captivating. I had never seen him so carefree. He was magnificent. Wait, what is this mess?